Welcome back to the channel. We're watching the Inside Star Citizen distribution allocution today, which I assume is about the distribution centers that are coming in patch 3.23. So there's no need to delay any longer. Let's start watching it. What do you got to say, Jared?
2952, we introduced the concept of distribution centers. These enormous terrestrial microcosms of Star Citizen's entire FPS
Hope y'all got your coffees and are ready to go.
Since that time, we've intermittently followed along with their progress as they make their way to the persistent universe in the upcoming Alpha 323. And with that milestone approaching in just the next few months, let's dive underground one more time and see where they're at now, and discuss a little more about what you'll be doing once you get inside.
Yeah, because, well, inside. So it's interesting to talk about inside, because didn't they say it's only going to be the exteriors that are going to be in? We're not going to have interiors in patch 3.23. I guess maybe we don't, and they're just talking about what we might be seeing going forward. But hello, YouTube. If you guys are watching on YouTube, this is live on twitch.tv/LeafX if you want to come out and hang with us and see some action in person sometime.
It's a super basic question, but I've got to unravel about 2 years worth of development time in order to answer it.
So a distribution center.
You just call out Jared. Ask better questions.
Organization owns that they distribute goods for, and this could be commodities themselves or stuff that they're making.
They're very big locations on the ground. They're a hive of activity.
They are freaking massive.
But you can also go there and cause some chaos as well.
To the player, depending on what faction it is, it's still going to be a means to way of getting different types of missions.
We don't want you to go to this location and be the only person there doing a thing. In some locations, you're going to find that you're just doing a delivery mission, you're hauling some cargo out there, you're dropping it off, and you're getting your fee for doing that. But while that's happening, another player could be infiltrating it, they could be assassinating a VIP in there.
They provide...
Other players are going to be there camping to steal everything you get out of there. That's what's going to be happening. That's absolutely... yeah, there's definitely some. Okay, first floor. That makes sense to have like first floor in there, but yeah, that guy got fucking fucked. This will be an interesting play area. You know, what it also does allow them is to hopefully be able to have an area that feels massive, that has a lot of gameplay elements in it, that you also can segment. I really hope, again, by the sounds of it, they're not going to, but I really hope they don't instance these places, these distribution centers. I really hope that these still do act as like a smooth in and out, and everything you see is what everyone else experiences as well. Because I know they've toyed with the idea of instances with the instance hangers and stuff. That makes sense. But yeah, I hope they don't go too far with the instancing, because that's one of the things that I think Star Citizen excels at is having everything be in the same game world. But what it does allow them is to have these areas that they can then just call the outside and make a smoother performance on the interiors of these, right?
A large variety of
that's
gameplay.
That's a good point.
To bombing runs.
But, well, that might answer your question.
First-person combat, theft, you name it.
A whole quagmire of different things going on at any one time.
Basically a microcosm for all the FPS-related gameplay in the universe.
What's your favorite thing about the distribution centers?
They're nearly done.
That's good. That's fair, because we've been talking about these for quite some time now.
So at CitizenCon, we showed you what is going on at these locations, but you want to know what's actually coming in 3.23.
Yes.
So let me tell you.
Thank you.
We're going to have multiple DCs throughout the Stanton system. Each one of those is going to be owned by different brands. Some of them are going to be friendly towards you. Some of them, they're going to be hostile towards you. At each location, you're going to have access to both sides of the building, both wings.
Right.
On those wings, we have 2 landing pads and a hangar, and 2 cargo freight elevators. Plus, you've got the wing itself, so all the missions that you can do.
Dude, look at
outside.
That! Look
On
at
the
that!
inside,
Hold
you'll have
up!
Access to
Look at that! That was a great shot, by the way.
a hangar,
But
and 2 cargo freight
look
elevators.
at these, like,
Plus, you've got the wing itself.
networks of, like, this in itself feels like a an entire Call of Duty map. Right? Like this looks like just a whole ass Call of Duty map. Meanwhile, this is one small chunk of this larger big structure that has a whole interior that's just one building on a whole planet in this solar system that has no loading screens. Still blows my mind to this day. There's gonna be some big battles going on here. This is just so cool. I mean, I love like you can see the people walking around on there, like it's populated, and the layering to it as well. I mean, who knows? There's going to be like a little piece of loot back here. And this is something I'm so excited about. Sorry, again, for people on YouTube. I talk a lot, but that's probably why you're watching a react rather than the video itself. What I'm very excited about is what Jared has been talking about, is that they're going to start putting stuff in the game that they don't talk about. And to me, that's the whole essence of a game like Star Citizen, is being able to feel like you're in this massive world and you can discover stuff. You can find that thing that no other player has found, right? And that, you know, that's what's cool about No Man's Sky. That sucked a little bit because the world felt kind of samey after a while. Whereas here, you might come across an asteroid and be like, oh my God, why is there a Stonehenge made of vending machines, right? Those kind of things I really hope continue to exist in the game, that you have to go to YouTube. I don't want to be able to find everything in this game. I want to see other people's experiences of this game and live that way and be like, what? That's there? That's so cool. Let me know if you disagree in the comments, but I really hope about that kind of stuff. And that's the hard thing with watching these development things every week, is I kind of get burnt out. This is why my main channel, by the way, go subscribe to it. The link will be down below. Just LeafX, is very hard to make videos sometimes, because you when you get so invested in the development, you watch all this stuff every week, it gets hard to get excited about those new things coming. You're like, well, yeah, I knew that was coming for 2 years now. So when it's finally here and it's not fully finished, it's hard. Like you lose that excitement. So the fact that they're going to start putting stuff in that is just they don't talk about is, in my opinion, very exciting. Yeah, but having to go to someone's YouTube channel to, now obviously I'm biased, I'm saying that as a YouTuber because I want you to watch my videos, but like I also think that's just exciting to have to be able to see things from other people's perspective to get the whole picture. And that makes Star Citizen so engaging, because everyone might get that unique experience and be able to make that content about it, or make a tweet or put it out into the world, right? I think that's really cool, in my opinion.
Itself, so all the missions that you can do outside.
Right, Dirk, about the orgs buying it? That'd be cool too.
Lobby and the rooms off that, so sleeping habs, kitchenettes and VIP spaces, and some maintenance places in there as well, all with missions.
Below that, you're into the main body of it, which has got the central part, which is the warehouse, which is where mainly all the goods go.
Got to turn my light on.
Branching off of that leads into 2 side roads. From there can be a mixture of rooms. It's always the cargo shop, which is a part delivery space, part canteen for the staff to use for refreshment and taking a break. Storage rooms, which are the main whole of distributing big cargo boxes, which have to be used to be picked up via a tractor beam.
There are worker rest areas, there are security areas.
This feels populated,
Side
and that's
rooms.
one thing that obviously is still kind of lacking in Star Citizen, is the vibe of this feels populated, and that was something that we hoped Quanta would fix, like the back-end quantum system. Tony Z, where are you? Have they given up? Like, did they realize that can't work anymore? I really don't know what's going on with that anymore. And it's very concerning that we haven't heard anything in a while. Maybe it's just that they were waiting for server meshing before moving forward any further with that. Yeah, I don't know what happened there, but I think, to me, that's something I really wanted to make the verse feel alive. Like, I can look at that NPC and be like, hey, they have a life to live. It was something in Cyberpunk that threw me off. You know, so I'd hear 2 people talking. Someone's like, I'm going to go meet you upstairs. They walk to the elevator, and then they just stand there. They don't go in the elevator. That's a chance to put them in a despawn closet, right? And then just to despawn them in there. And you didn't do that. And so the world felt kind of dead to me in Cyberpunk. And obviously, Star Citizen suffers from that same thing right now, because these NPCs don't really have anything to do. So these distribution centers hopefully will make it feel a little more alive at that point. you know.
And a side road, which is
Yeah, it's
more
everything
like
in
a
one
little
dark.
maintenance area, but it does have an underfloor again with the ventilation access. That's
Trucking
on the
routes,
inside.
yeah.
Branching out from that as well, there are 2 wings. Each one comes
Because a lot of Star
equipped with-
Citizen, sorry again, so a lot of Star Citizen is going to be based off of that back end, Quanta, right? It's going to be based off of if I mine somewhere, that changes AI behavior because now there's less resources there. And depending on where I'm selling it, that changes the cost and value of the weapons being made from that material in that space. And so much gameplay. And that's why when people talk about, I got to be honest, I've seen people talk about what economy balances are you excited for in the next patch? And none. I couldn't care less until we get an actual dynamic economy. And I don't want CIG to have to be balancing the economy. I want the economy to exist because we make it exist. And until we get the thing that we were shown that does that, it's very hard for me to get excited about doing cargo routes and shit because it means nothing in the greater scheme of things. Obviously, nothing means anything because it'll be a wipe before launch anyways, but I don't affect the world around me. And I know that they're working on a system that allows me to do that. So economy balances, I have zero interest in. I also feel, Doyle, the way you and I play Star Citizen is very different than most people. People usually have an objective to go in and do. We usually don't. But yeah, I just really can't care about economy too much. Examples of AI ships landing and pathing. Yeah, that's fair because the Quanta need to be able to actually operate in the world. But legit economy, free market. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, you know? Let's all go libertarian. Kind of saying that much to me when it comes out. Yeah, it's true, but it still feels the knowledge that the economy is altered because of players' actions. Like even just knowing, oh, this org just had this battle, which made weapons prices go up in that area because they were all buying them all out and they were out of stock. And now medical supplies, you could get more by cargo. Knowing that happened because of players, even if I'm not involved, is cool to me, whether I'm involved or not.
A shipping depot and security door.
I'm gonna have to clip my rant back there and see if I can put that out as a short.
For you to get your teeth into in this kind of initial release.
Can you bring vehicles inside?
To the outside wings, yes, but you can't drive them into the actual center, no.
No.
Oh, for sure, Dark, which I love.
Sound really confident about it. Why can't you take vehicles inside?
Because we block them off.
Why'd you block them?
Bollards.
Vehicle force field?
Bollards.
You're telling me there's no way a player is going to be able to tractor beam a vehicle over those bollards and get a vehicle inside?
I would like to say no.
Backers, you know better. The challenge is made. Get the vehicles in there.
I was gonna say, man, you don't understand players if you say just definitively no. Man, you haven't played Halo back in the day. That's so fun. Yeah, which is good. Here's the thing. I'm happy. It's just bollards. There's no force field. And I love that Jared made that point, that there is no force field. We are not artificially restricting your ability to get stuff in there. Jared has seen some shit. He knows.
So what will bring players to the distribution centers will depend on the type of player, as we want to give variety, depending if you're an aggressive player or a non-aggressive player and or lawful or unlawful. It's for the 4 types of player that exist in the persistent universe. So
he's got a pretty solid beard,
aggressive,
by the way.
lawful,
Mustache.
unaggressive, lawful, aggressive, unlawful, and unaggressive, unlawful.
Oh, I can't wait to do sneaky.
I quite like being aggressive. If you're going to go in, you might as well go in hard, right? I'm nice in real life, so I can be aggressive and unlawful in the verse.
For aggressive lawful players, you might get a mission where you have to go in.
I'm already thinking, man, we're making videos on this. We're going in, we're trying every single route of these. We're going to try the stealth one over and over and over again until we succeed. Because we're probably going to fuck up at some point.
And one of the distribution centers from a hostile attack by outlaw gangs.
You could receive a distress call from
Amazon
the
delivery,
owner of
yeah.
the distribution
Death
center
Stranding.
being informed that a gang is trying to acquire goods from a certain section of it, say the storage room.
The player will arrive. They will make their way to the location, which is
So
under attack.
I just want to point out, I love that they use like the head tracking or at least like the free look when they're doing these cinematics because it makes it look really fucking good.
They will make their way to the location, which is under attack. They will go in, they will see a battle underway between defending forces and the attackers, and they will join sides with the defending forces to take out the attackers. Those attackers might come in waves, they might have big heavies with them, they might have bigger weaponry, but you will join together, possibly.
I can't wait for the day that my game runs that smooth, man. My game does not run that smooth. At all. How is any work ever supposed to do it right? There's just people coming in all the fucking time. No, I see that. Yeah. Being able to have like emergent gameplay things come up that like, hey, you're coming in as an unlawful. I just wonder how fast these missions are though, because if they're only 10-minute things, by the time someone's get there, you got to get out of it. You're probably already gone anyways, right?
With friends to take out this big assaulting force. Lawful non-aggressive players might want to do something more like delivery or hauling. It's a distribution center. So you'll be able to come in, land, load your ship with all the various cargo, depending on what kind of distribution center it is, and take it where it needs to go, whether that's another
so
distribution
exciting.
center or somewhere else completely different.
The plan from doing an
Like, I don't... Fuck you guys. Like, there's something about this game. Like, look at that. Like, just knowing that there's players going in and doing whatever they want in this space here, going off to another planet somewhere, whereas you might just be sitting here having a buggy race. Like, the fact that all of these things are happening around this verse in a real space is... I talk about it so much, and it's probably so annoying, but it still blows my mind, to be honest, to this day, that all this shit is just going. Someone just living their own little life in their Argo mold, just or not mold. Their what the fuck is that thing called again? I look like an idiot right now. But just taking some packages out. You know, I have your cat just throwing stuff in. You know, I don't know. Yeah, we're gonna make a new racetrack. Look, this is ours now. Yeah, I don't know. There's something about it.
internal delivery will be using a hover trolley to distribute one cargo or multiple cargo boxes from one section in the distribution center to another. They really are big enough to do an entire mission without ever leaving. You could be doing a delivery from one room, let's say the storage room, up to the lobby. For an aggressive illegal player, you might do an all-out assault on the distribution center. You can fly in, the location security will kick in, so you.
How much is that actually?
You'll get shot at by turrets.
Is that just for cinematics, or like why? Why are they shooting
on the distribution center? You can fly in, the location security.
There's dropping like, bro.
Security will kick in.
Ballistic ammo is very limited. What are you doing?
So you'll be trespassing, you'll get shot at by turrets. If you manage to land, you will infiltrate the facility. All guards will be hostile to you.
I'm pretty... Okay, I'm sorry. I'm overanalyzing at this point, but...
Get shot at by turrets.
This guy just missed, I think, all of his shots except
land,
one.
You will...
Okay, so he hit one.
Infiltrate the
facility.
Missed. All guards...
Hit.
Will be hostile to you. And you can go in, you can, if it's an assassination mission, you can go in, take out a VIP. If it's a theft mission, you can run a heist, go in, rob the place, get out again.
Each distribution center, especially the bigger company ones, would have armed guards at least on site. They'd also have turrets mobilized around the outside, so you would have to, coming in by air is very dangerous because you would be distinctly seen as trespassing, so each security zone around distribution center protects.
I really want to do a video on these, Doyle, by the way. Let's just go in. Let's introduce it the way that someone like Ollie or Jack Frakes does. We'll just say this is what we're doing and then go.
Even from the air, not just the ground. So for non-aggressive, unlawful theft missions would be a prime example of you sneaking into distribution center to avoid being detected by security to acquire goods unlawfully.
You can basically do a stealth version of the hostile mission. So instead of it being an all-out assault and going in guns blazing, maybe you find a back route in, maybe you sneak in past guards, make your way to the location without being detected. If you get the item that you need to steal, you can turn around being detected.
Look
Maybe
how
you sneak
beautiful
in
these
past
spaces
guards,
are.
Make your way to the location without being detected.
These spaces are so cool, man. I love this.
If you get the item that you need to steal, you can turn around, make your way out, and hope they don't find you. For players that don't have a mission, the response that you get when you approach a distribution center is going to depend on which distribution center it is. Some are going to welcome visitors. They'll be quite happy to see you. Others definitely don't want any visitors at all.
So depending on the type of facility, some public ones, and you'll be able to come in and just use it as a social space. Other higher security level ones, you would not have or be gone.
By the way, I just found out the other day, Chris Roberts was an executive producer on the movie Lucky Number 11. Just in case you didn't know that. He was a producer on so many other films too. I know he did some smaller stuff, but like I didn't realize that he was on bigger movies like that too. Just saying.
Wanted access without being granted a mission. So besides missions, if a player decides to go like full chaotic evil inside a distribution center, they can go in full guns blazing, but they're going to be met with a lot of resistance. So you're going to need to see some pretty like a heavily armored ship.
Oh my God! Can we get it? Can we get an F in chat?
Like full chaotic evil inside a distribution center, they can go in full.
Can we get F in chat for Jacqueline, or I don't know, Jiracklin? That's who it is. F in chat for Jiracklin. That's this person's name. Oh, Rip Jiracklin. Can we get a Rip Jiracklin in the YouTube comments below, please? The poor Jiracklin is just standing there. Oh, I bet you it was Steve. Look at Steve over here. Steve is like, Steve definitely put out a bounty on Drac. Like, said, yo, he doesn't even look worried at all. Bro. Fucking Steve, man. What a dick.
They're going to be met with.
Look, he didn't even move. No reflex. He knew this was coming. This isn't even a conspiracy theory anymore. You bring that in court, you're done. You're done. Oh, maybe Dracula was stealing lunch.
So you're going to need to see some pretty like a heavily armored ship to deal with the anti-air guns, and a lot of firepower when you get inside, because there's a load of guards to deal with.
So a big driving force behind the distribution centers is to really bring players together in all different kinds of ways. So maybe you've got somebody there who's running a delivery mission, and at the same time,
I appreciate
you've got a group of people coming in to raid the place and steal a bunch of stuff. They all...
I'm sorry. But whoever is... This is the worst secret agent I've ever seen in my fucking life. Dude drops in from the ceiling, almost breaks his legs, turns and misses his first shot.
You've got a group of people coming in to raid the place and steal a bunch of stuff. They all get...
Can you imagine in a movie, there's just some guards, you see a guy drop in, oh fuck, turn and shoot at you, and you just stare like, what the fuck is happening? I'm sorry, that was just, I imagine it not from whoever's playing this person, but imagine it as if that agent was a real person. Like imagine that in a movie.
Get caught up together in a whole big mess, and the hope is that it's a fun, exciting, and probably quite chaotic experience.
We want it so that as you're playing it through, yeah, other things are happening around you, things that you sort of want to get involved in yourself.
I hope the players perceive it as mainly for the variety, to give the players the choice to like just to lean into? Do they want to be aggressive or do they want to be passive?
They're 100%. There will be players here that are just camping and killing everyone. That's going to happen.
That we know different players like playing different ways, so we're hoping this variety in the distribution center gives the players the access whether they want to play that aggressive or passive fantasy inside the verse.
Of course, this is the first drop of the distribution centers and development will be ongoing. We're shooting for a healthy variety of distribution centers for 3.23 and more to come as we approach 4.0.
So at some point after 3.23 and into the future, I don't know when, we are going to be looking at the end game stuff that you want to play, and that's going to be in the form of raids. Raids! Don't put that in.
Oh, we're definitely leaving that in.
I never cared about raids in MMOs.
So, what
For me, a lot of the reason I play MMOs is because I just enjoy being in the world and having seen other players. Raid Shadow Legends. Subscribe now. I wish I was sponsored. Bro. I'll sell out. I don't make any money on these videos. No doubt about it. Grabbing there and hunting down would be hella fun. Yeah, that's true. That would be really cool as well.
what did we learn
Just
this
hunting
week?
down the people that are in
Well,
there.
we learned that distribution centers will be home to missions and gameplay of every sort. That Alpha 3.23 will mark their arrival. That the much anticipated raid gameplay first discussed at CitizenCon will follow at some point thereafter. And that if you're the ISC gameplay capture team working in builds weeks and sometimes even months before Evocati, you may find that the planets of Pyro and Stanton have loaded into the same physical space and turned themselves inside out. And all you're trying to do is make your weekly show. Don't worry, they're having the time of their lives. For Inside Star Citizen, I'm Jared.
It's called an
Huckabee.
incursion,
Thanks
the
for letting us
MCU.
share the
It's
process
canon.
of game development with you, and we'll see you all here next week.
I think that's the biggest thing we have to realize
Like that.
is that Star Citizen is about to have 2 massive years. I mean, if the leaks are true, internally, they're aiming for an end of 2025 release.
Now I've had the time of my life, though I never felt like this before. Yes, I swear it's the truth, and I owe it all to you, Booch.
That's a good question. That's a good question, Doyle. Do they not care? Where's the security? Where's the security? Anyways, I gotta say, anyone that is watching on YouTube, thank you guys so much for hanging out and watching the video. Let me know your thoughts on distribution centers and the future of Star Citizen going forward. Please, again, this is my off channel where we just do whatever. But if you do want to see my put together content, we have a new player of video coming out where we showed a new player of the game. Actually, it'll be tomorrow after this is posted. So go check that out. The link for my main channel is down below. It's just youtube.com/LeafX. If you like these videos and the longer videos and the full gameplay, we'll have a full longer unedited version on this channel as well. You can subscribe and like. If not, you can go on your merry day and have a wonderful time. Until next time, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.